DayZ is a game that will push you down the stairs and then tell everybody you fell, but there are occasional moments it brings you some flowers and kisses you goodnight. But there are ways you can use its own tactics against it and even the playing field. And here I'm going to reveal how. If you like the video, please leave a like or a subscribe, it really helps me out. But without further ado, let's get into the video. What is that? Ah, it's a bear. That was scary for a second. I thought it was a man. Surviving in DayZ often comes down to how well you adapt to the unpredictable chaos that unfolds around you. One of the simplest yet most effective tactics is knowing how to respond when someone corners you. If you find yourself being shot at from an unknown position, not giving you much time to react, shouting it's me" when the shots fly past you is a great response. It sounds ridiculous, but even people who know they're solo, it can still usually cause them to pause for a second and question if they know you, giving you enough time to show them that you shouldn't trust strangers, because the back of a white van is not the only place you'll end up getting fucked. Another trick is the ammo bit. Running out of ammo in DayZ feels like a worst case scenario, or sometimes you just don't have ammo to begin with, but your enemies don't need to know that. If you continue pointing your gun at them as if it's loaded, you might be able to bluff your way out of a sticky situation. DayZ players respect the threat of a weapon, even if you're bluffing. And what's so good about this is I've literally used it to get loaded weapons from actual players in the past. It's magical. But let's move on to a health tip. No matter how hungry you are, try not to let other players feed you or give you water. This is because by allowing them to do it, you're putting your life in their hands. You don't know what they're feeding you because you can't actually see it. Instead, have them place it down so you can feed yourself. Just don't ever eat fat. When it comes to ensuring a kill, you need to do it right. You might think somebody is dead after a shot or two, but many players are simply knocked out and could get back up to fight. This is especially true in long range combat, where it's often difficult to tell if they're really dead or just down. The best approach is to fire an extra round into the body to make sure they're not going to get up anytime soon. It might seem like overkill, but that extra bullet could be the difference between walking away with your life or being caught off guard by a revived player who'll fill you with so many holes you'll pee from your neck. A lot of players will tell you to carry a splint, but this can be a waste of valuable space. There is an argument to be said for carrying one, or at least the parts for one, but you need to be smart about when you do it. Splints are essential for fixing broken bones, but realistically you only really need to keep them on you when you're entering a high-risk area like Northwest Airfield or any known PvP zones. Once you've safely made it through these areas, drop the splint to free up inventory space. You don't need to haul one around when you're out in the safer part of the map. Yes, there's always a risk you'll need one on the outside of these zones, but preparing for every single contingency is time consuming and unrealistic. Just adapt. So this is a mistake I see a lot of players make. Sometimes you're forced to cook food at night, which is already a big no-no, but to make matters worse, you have to do it with a campfire in the middle of a woodland. Straight away you became a huge target, but if you do find yourself in this position, there's one thing you can do to secure yourself. Step away. It's that simple. Become the observer of your fire rather than the user. This is good for a couple of reasons. One, you can cook somewhere safely, and two, you've just set up a trap for any curious passerby. But one of the biggest mistakes I see is people following tips that shouldn't really be followed. And if you want to know which tips you should or shouldn't follow, then maybe click this video here, or for something else, click here. And as always, until next time.